The Office of the Public Protector has been lauded as one of the strongest constitutional institutions in the country, and one which has, from its conception, even prior to the dawn of democracy, aimed to protect citizens' rights. The country's first public protector, Judge Selby Bakwa, says it was this Chapter 9 institution which stopped state capture in its tracks at a time when the country was teetering on the edge.
We had reached a level where ministers, cabinet ministers, were being appointed by private individuals in a compound which they occupied in the province of Gauteng. And they would do that with a sitting president sitting in the next room and call a person and say, "Come, we want you to be a minister of finance. Come here, we want to be a minister of this and that." That's how bad things were. It was the lowest that we could have seen our country after the euphoria, as I've said, of Nelson Mandela.
Various international bodies, including the International Ombudsman Institute and the United Nations, have lauded the efforts of the Public Protector in tackling malfeasance and maladministration.
We're living right now in a very turbulent world where people are involved in resistance against corruption and maladministration in state affairs disappear in other countries. So a situation where the Ombudsman or the Public Protector can arrange for a proper taking away of people and properly being interviewed and returned back to their homes is important. And of course, the other thing was defining the powers of the Public Protector, starting with the Nkandla matter and ending up with state capture. But it was rewarding to hear ombudsmen from other offices saying they've learnt a lot from South Africa.
The incumbent Public Protector has described the work of her office as having the well-being of the people of South Africa as its core function.
We have actually put in place as part of our deliverables the impact, which is the gist of the existence of the Public Protector, which is the implementation of the remedial actions. When I took over office, we were at about 2% when it comes to implementation of remedial actions. We are currently at about 54%. Thus, we saw that we do have the powers to enforce, that people need to be accountable to the latter. You cannot be accountable if you do not redress. You cannot be accountable if you do not take consequence management. So that is part of our deliverables. Mediations. There are instances where you do not need to investigate, but you bring people together, you find speedy, lasting and amicable solutions, and therefore we've also put mediations as part of our deliverables.
Delegates and speakers say the 30-year milestone has global resonance in the efforts of clean governance and accountability.
In a sense, it also plays an oversight role. That is why you will see some of the reports of the Public Protector's Office looking at how, even as Parliament, though it reports to it, might have not done certain things that they should have done as an oversight instrument. It would also make pronouncement and do investigations where issues have come to its office about citizens being unhappy about issues of service delivery at municipal level and so on. So it is, in a sense, one of those checks and balances of our own constitutional democracy to see whether or not we still are truly committed to the things that we said we wanted to do for our citizens.
The Public Protector has done many high-profile cases. The Sarafina case, the arms deal, the state of capture, which led to the Zondo Commission. But the real power of the Public Protector lies in the cases, those that never ever receive any publicity. The poor woman who's wanting her social grant, and there's an arrogant and corrupt official who's demanding a kickback to pay out a social pension. Or someone who is sitting with their hands in their hair because a municipality is coming up with an absurd water or an electricity bill. And that constitutes the bulk of the Public Protector's work.
The 3-day conference runs until Wednesday. Vanessa Puna, SABC News, Cape Town.